Every time the woman returned home after spending time with her stepbrother, she felt guilty and would bring her husband's favorite pastries to please him. Usually, her husband would greet her with a smile, but this time she found the house empty and all of her husband's belongings had vanished. At first, she thought he was just having a little temper tantrum and would come back as soon as she explained. But she soon discovered that her husband had blocked her on WeChat and her calls went unanswered. She became very worried. When she saw her stepbrother wearing her husband's ring and a signed divorce agreement, she finally realized that the husband who once loved her so much had completely disappeared from her life. Her husband had already left for another country. The reason he was so cruel was because he had recently found out that his wife, who seemed so calm and unemotional, was secretly looking at pictures of her stepbrother late at night. He then realized that his wife wasn't emotionless, it was just that the person who stirred her desires wasn't him. He remembered when they first met, he was attracted by his wife's calm and unassuming nature and decided to marry her no matter what. After 6 years of pursuit, she finally agreed to marry him. He thought his persistence had moved her, but after their marriage, she refused to sleep with him and even disliked any form of intimacy. It wasn't until he found out she was looking at her stepbrother's photos that he learned she had always been in love with her stepbrother. She married him only to get over her feelings for her brother. He realized that no matter how hard he tried, he could never warm her cold heart. Waking up to the truth, he decided to give her her freedom. The next day, he went to the immigration office and applied for permanent residency abroad. Thinking back to the 8 years he spent trying to fit into his wife's lifestyle, he had even stopped eating meat and lived a simple life, suppressing his own personality, yet, he still couldn't reach her heart. Fortunately, he had now accepted everything and decided to be himself again. That evening, he called his old friends to a bar. While he was dancing, he noticed his wife was also at the bar. His friends were scared, thinking she would come to take him home, but she didn't care, knowing he was always respectful and wouldn't do anything inappropriate with other women. Then, the wife's stepbrother showed up at the bar. The wife immediately walked up to him in anger. In an attempt to win her love, the stepbrother grabbed a bottle and hit the husband with it. The husband ended up in the hospital with over 30 stitches. The one who stayed by his side all night wasn't his wife, but his friend. The husband wondered where his wife had been all night, but he saw a photo of her with her stepbrother on social media. Furious, he called the police, accusing the stepbrother of assault. Soon after, his wife arrived at the hospital angry, telling him to drop the case, claiming she would punish her stepbrother by not letting him go out for a day. The husband finally asked her why she wasn't taking this seriously. At that moment, he completely lost hope. Fortunately, once his visa came through, he wouldn't have to endure this anymore. He stayed in the hospital to recover, and his wife kept her promise by staying with him until he was discharged. However, when he was about to get in the car, he noticed her stepbrother was also in their car. After hearing the stepbrother's fake apology, his wife explained that the stepbrother would stay with them for a few days and told the husband to get along with